Welcome to the Legends of Sinister Urban Tales channel, where we delve into the shadows of the unknown and unearth stories that will send chills down your spine. Hey everyone, how's it going? If you're new here, welcome aboard. Grab a coffee or a tea to get that British vibe. Get cozy and come dive into a spooky story that'll make you double-check your curtains before bed. Don't forget to drop a comment telling us what you thought or which urban legend gives you the creeps. Today, we're diving into The Watcher, a bone-chilling urban legend from the rainy streets of Manchester, England. Ever felt that shiver down your spine, like someone's watching you? Well, buckle up, because this tale will have you glancing at the dark corners of your room. Let's get started. It was a rainy autumn night in Manchester, England. You know those nights when the city feels wrapped in fog, with streetlights flickering like they're scared? That's exactly how it was. Our main character, Emily Carter, a 28-year-old graphic designer, was heading home after a long day at the office. She lived alone in a small apartment in Ancoats, a neighborhood full of old buildings that seemed to hold secrets. Emily was the super rational type, loved science podcasts, laughed off ghost stories, and thought urban legends were just pub talk. But that night, something changed. Getting home around 11 p.m., Emily tossed her bag on the couch, put the kettle on for tea, because you know it's Manchester, and glanced out her kitchen window. It overlooked a dark alley, lit only by a flickering street lamp. That's when she saw it. A tall, thin silhouette standing at the end of the alley. It looked like a man in a long coat, but something was off. He didn't move, just stood there, watching. His head was slightly tilted, like he knew she was at the window. "All right, Emily, chill. It's just a homeless guy or the light playing tricks," she thought, chuckling to herself. She closed the curtains, grabbed her tea, and headed to bed. But let's be real, who hasn't felt that chill and thought, better not look again? Sleep didn't come easy, though. Emily dreamt of dark streets, invisible eyes following her, and a faint whisper saying, "I see you." She woke up at 3 a.m., heart racing, with that awful feeling someone was in the room. She flipped on the light, nothing, just the heavy silence of the sleeping city. "It's just exhaustion," she told herself, trying to shake it off. The next day, Emily met her friend Sarah at a trendy cafe in the Northern Quarter. You know that friend who's your total opposite? That was Sarah, obsessed with the occult, sporting mystic symbol tattoos and a shelf full of British folklore books. Over lattes, Sarah asked, Ever heard of The Watcher?" Emily laughed. "What? Like some B-movie stalker?" Sarah leaned in, serious. "No, girl, it's an urban legend that pops up in cities like Manchester and London, especially on rainy nights. They say it's a tall, faceless figure that just watches. If you notice it, it starts getting closer. And the more you think about it, the more real it becomes. Some say it steals memories, others that it takes people to a place where they're stuck watching the world forever." Emily rolled her eyes. "Sounds like Slender Man, but British." But deep down, that shiver from the night before crept back. On her way home, walking down cobblestone streets, she felt a chill on her neck. She glanced back. Nothing. But in a shop window's reflection, she swore she saw that same silhouette, now closer, standing at a corner. "Stop it, Emily," she muttered, picking up her pace. The next few days were a blur of growing paranoia. Emily started noticing weird things, calls from unknown numbers with heavy breathing and a whisper saying, "I see." Photos on her phone looked off, with shadows that shouldn't be there. At work, colleagues noticed she was distracted. Tom, a guy from the office she casually flirted with and whose Scottish accent made everyone laugh, invited her for a pint. "You need to chill, Em," he said with that smile that seemed to calm everything. At the pub, between laughs and stories about his childhood in Edinburgh, Emily almost forgot her fear. But on the way back, alone on an empty subway, she saw it again. The watcher at the end of the platform under the cold fluorescent light. Now she could see more. No eyes, no mouth, just a smooth face like a cracked porcelain mask. Emily bolted onto the train, heart pounding. At home, her door was slightly ajar. Nothing stolen, but a family photo on the coffee table was turned upside down. And in the bathroom mirror, written in steam that shouldn't be there, "I watch you sleep." Who wouldn't freak out at that? Desperate, Emily called Sarah. "Tell me everything about this legend, please." Sarah showed up with an old folklore book, and they sat on the couch, surrounded by candles. Sarah's idea, obviously. "The Watcher's not new," Sarah explained. "Stories go back to the 19th century during the Industrial Revolution. Factory workers in Manchester saw a figure in the shadows, always watching. They say it was a Victorian government spy, cursed for knowing too much. It feeds on attention. The more you think about it, the stronger it gets. And if it touches you, you become a watcher trapped in limbo, just observing the world." Emily was shaking. "How do I get rid of it?" Sarah hesitated. "Some say you have to face it and say, 'I don't see you.' But almost no one pulls it off." That night, Tom called, worried. "Come over. I'll protect you with my Scottish ghost stories," he joked. Emily went to his place in Salford, and for a few hours, laughing at a silly movie, she felt safe. But at dawn, she woke to a noise. Tom wasn't in bed. In the living room, he stood with his back to her, staring out the window. "Tom," she called. He turned slowly. His face wasn't his anymore, smooth, featureless. "I see you, Emily," said a distorted voice. She screamed and ran. Manchester streets felt like an endless nightmare. She went to Sarah's, who suggested a ritual. Go back to the alley where it all started and confront the Watcher. That night, with rain pouring down, they went. Emily held a flashlight. Sarah sprinkled salt on the ground, just in case, right? And there it was, taller than ever, arms like twisted branches. "I don't see you!" Emily shouted, stepping forward. The air turned icy, and the Watcher tilted its head. Then, like smoke, it vanished, leaving an echo. "But I'll always see you." Emily collapsed to her knees, relieved but terrified. Months later, she moved to a rural village in Yorkshire, trying to rebuild her life. Tom, never seen again. The police said he disappeared. Sarah still researches legends, but avoids mentioning the Watcher. And Emily, she swears she'll never look at long shadows again. But on rainy nights, she feels that shiver. And sometimes, in a window's reflection, she sees her own face. A little smoother than it should be. So, did that give you chills? This story, inspired by real UK urban legends, is the kind that makes you think twice before looking into the dark. Ever felt someone watching you for no reason? Spill it in the comments. What urban legend do you want next? If you loved this, share it with that friend who's all about scares, and subscribe for more spine-chilling tales. See you next time. And seriously, watch what you catch out of the corner of your eye. Don't forget to answer the poll in the comments and in the community.